All right, well, this actually we're shooting this video right after last week's video because it's our day off. But what we want to do now is just kind of quickly do a walkthrough and kind of give you an idea of what our plans are for this bus. So if you saw last week's video, you know we now have a bus in the yard and we are going to convert it into an RV. Let's walk inside and we'll just kind of give you an idea of what the layout's going to be. That could change, but this is going to be our starting point. But let's just get inside and really talk about what the plan is. So up front here, we plan on gutting this out a little bit here, turning it into shoe storage and all that. Nothing really fancy, but we have a lot of space down there. We can keep shoes and dirt from getting in the back part of the bus where we're going to be living. Won't be doing a lot over here in the beginning. Maybe in the future we'll do stuff. Of course, we have to get rid of the flashing lights, the stop sign on the side, and we got to paint the bus because legally you can't have that if it's not a bus and it's going to be registered as an RV. Of course, step one, we're going to be removing all of the seats. Once we get these seats all out and it's built, there will be a seat here for Tracy, who is currently running the camera. So we'll have a passenger seat here, close as far forward as we can, so we're not taking up space back here. It'll be just a driver. It might swivel. We don't know yet. Right on this side here, our plan is for a bar top type thing that sticks out, which will house our computers, so we can sit here on the a very narrow desk and look outside while we're working on our computers and doing that type of stuff. We'll go down one side, then we'll go down the other side. Well, no, we'll do the whole thing at once because you can kind of get an idea. Our thinking is we really want this wide open up front here. I don't think we're doing any kind of couch up here because I really think it narrows it in. We want that narrow. This side may have just a couple of freestanding chairs, comfortable chairs, small, that'll sit over here and maybe a little end table between them or something like that. I haven't really put a lot of thought into this side yet over here. All of these windows so far here will definitely stay in, and at the moment we're probably going to keep most of the windows, if not all. Maybe a couple will be closed out. As we make our way back this way, somewhere, I'm not sure of the layout of the footage of where it's going to be, we're going to have a little wood stove, and I have a video of that and I'll pop up of us testing out that wood stove too. It's a really tiny wood stove. It's going to sit here. It won't be our only source of heat, but it's something we can use to supplement, take the chill off, and things like that, and kind of just play around with scrap wood. Then on this side, right about here, we really put a lot of thought into what we do in the house now, what areas we use, what we don't use. We don't want any wasted space, and we want it to be functional, how we use it, how we live every day. We sit a little bar in there to eat our meals. It's very narrow, so we're going to incorporate that into the kitchen. Most people have just a straight counter here that goes down with the aisle down the middle. Ours is going to be a little bit of an L shape here, and you'll walk around, just beyond the wood stove, you'll walk around it to get into the kitchen. We will have two bar stools sitting right here facing this way, which is where we will eat. That will be our dinette. It'll also be part of the regular countertop. That will eventually go into the rest of the countertop, kitchen sink, and then a wall here at some point before we get to the shower and that type of stuff. On this side, beyond the wood stove, will be a little bit of a counter, cooktop. The refrigerator will probably be on this side. I'm not 100% sure what side we're going to do that. We've got to keep weight in mind. Make sure we're distributing the weight evenly throughout the bus as we build it. But that will probably be on this side. And of course, under cupboard storage. And above the cupboards and the stove and stuff in this section, there will be overhead storage. Nothing on the front hand side. We want that all open. After we pass the kitchen, and again, I don't know the exact footage of all this yet. Once we get all these seats out, we're going to draw it all out on the floor. We will be in the area that the bathroom and shower will be at. We have not completely decided on whether it's going to be a wet bath or not, or a separate toilet, which I think we're leaning on a separate toilet. On this side, we are at the wheel well, so that's where we want that. So those will be over the wheel well. We're short people, so we can get away with it, most likely. That's going to be in this area right here. We just haven't really ironed out the details of that yet. Beyond that will be the bedroom. We're going to go probably with a full-size bed. It's as small as we can go that we feel we'll be comfortable in without taking up a lot of extra space. And we're still toying around with the idea of exactly where it's going to sit, how high it's going to be. Water tank will most likely be under it, our freshwater tank, and then some storage under that as well, and probably some overhead storage in the bedroom as well for that type of stuff. Beyond that, there will be a wall. We will have access to the back part. That's going to be our garage. I saw that on a couple other YouTubers that did the conversion. They had a garage area in the back that took care of all like their power coming in and their inverters and all kinds of extra stuff. We can put our bikes back there. Really a lot of stuff that you don't want in your living space, but you want on the bus. That's going to be housed back here. You'll be able to access it from the back door. There'll be shelves in there, whatever we need to put back there. We don't know the size of that yet. It's going to be based on our living space and what's left over, but we will put some thought into that based on what we think we're going to put in there, so there's ample space. So that's the inside, kind of what we're thinking. So let's take a quick look outside and we'll tell you a couple ideas we got going out there. All right, one more thing before we step out. We will be tearing the floor completely out, insulating and fixing a couple small holes that are in the floor, nothing major, and we will be tearing out the complete ceiling. And we're still toying around with ideas of what we're going to do for ceiling, but we'll be super insulating it, hopefully, as well. We're going to start from scratch, so that's going to be incorporated as well. Let's step outside. So on the outside, there's not a lot to show. Of course, we have to paint it. We have to take the school signs and all that stuff off. The amber flashing lights have to come off. That's all pretty general knowledge, I think. But some things we do want to do is we're going to have our gray water storage underneath here. We're going to have some sort of composting toilet, whether I build it myself or we buy one. We're still talking about that. We'll see when we get closer. But I do want underneath storage. Now, the bummer is this particular bus had underneath storage at one time, and it was removed because the school district didn't need it. I'm not sure why, but it was removed, so we didn't get it. But the other good news is I have a spot ready to go to pull this panel off and put that back in if we want to do that, which we will do for sure. So that will be there. Of course, our tanks, our gray water tank will go underneath here as well, and we will probably cut in, depending on weight distribution, what side it's going to be on, battery bank and inverter will probably be underneath. They need to be in two separate compartments, but I was thinking about putting them in the garage area, but I think we're going to put them underneath and use that garage area for storage. So again, on the other side, same thing. We may cut in some sort of under storage as well. But that's our plan. We are definitely going to have changes being made along the way. I'm not big on completely planning and drawing things out. We'll have a rough idea, and then we're going to kind of wing it, and it'll be Tracy and I's input as we go. But we have to put a lot of thought into like where we want outlets and all those type of things too, because I don't want to be cutting in things after the fact. That's pretty much what the layout's going to be. For the most part, that's what we're looking at. And anything you want to add to it?
Not that I can think of.
Tracy is still pretty not camera friendly. She's very friendly. She just...
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No.
She is to me. So we have a lot of work. She's going to be out here with me, though. You'll see her on video building, cutting, grinding, and drilling and sanding, and just right along with me as well. This is going to be a project for us together to do. So hopefully you'll find it entertaining, if not educational, as we go along this journey. So come back next week, and hopefully you'll see some actual deconstruction taking place. And remember, life is a wild ride.